Okay, well, welcome everybody for, looks like this is our 8th session of the server-side JavaScript hands-on building. We're going to continue working through our use case for building out that multi-form page. We've got Raja, returning builder, who's going to be sharing his screen and build out, continue building out that functionality. But I thought in our server-side JavaScript bootcamp session yesterday, Raja had a couple of questions that I think may be good just to share visually. Raja, if you'd like to do that. So do you want to share your screen, and we'll just check to see if you have access to the, well, you have access to the environment, but do you want to share what you're working on?
Yeah, sure, Tim. Yeah. Let me see if I have the access to share the screen.
Yeah, I just gave you access.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, so this is my cloud page where I am trying to, provide a basic details and to see if I can, after submitting, it just says, if the submission is successful or not. The basic use case. But actually, I intend to, like, with these details, I wanted to, before I run this script, what happens is that, I add few customers' details to one of my data extension, which I will be using it in the journey, and they will be waiting in the initial stage. That journey, I am about to build it, but the use case is that, let me share my use case, what I am trying to achieve. Yeah, so yeah, this is my use case that I wanted to do it, wherein, like, let's say, in old days, the stockbrokers, they used to, call out clients, right? To like make a calls to the clients to see if they can be, their best, if they can make a customer turn into their potential client, right? For example, in the Pursuit of Happiness movie, where Will Smith will work as a broker, where he will be given a target to reach out to customers, let's say 100 customers on a daily basis, and then he usually calls them, explains them, what's the advantage going with that particular brokerage company and all, right? So once he's done with that, so basically what he will do, he will mark a particular customer that he spoke with him, and he's done with that particular customer. And once he marked that customer, an email will trigger out explaining all the formalities of, in sense, the details that already he spoke over the phone, but in a more formal way, like an email with all those benefits and, plan details and all. So this is my use case that I wanted to build it. So as part of that,
very cool. Raja, let me ask you a couple questions. Okay, so so you say when someone enters the journey, and then do they receive an email, and then they're in that wait until event until the brokers, contacted them and given them the sign to move them on forward? How does that?
Yeah, so the journey start point will be the wait activity, where let's say I told, right, initially they will get, every broker, they will be given a target, right? Let's say 100 customers that they wanted to finish in a month. Correct. So by default, this journey will put all those 100. Let's say if the target is 100 for that specific month, all will be in the waiting stage until this broker moves, like, make a call to one of that particular customer, and then this, like, from the wait phase, they will move into the email phase, which is this one.
Got it.
Okay. The call basically happens here.
Yep. And the broker is working in Salesforce CRM. Is that where they're flagging that customer, that whether that's a lead, I guess it would be a lead. Are they flagging some flag on that record that should trigger moving that forward, or are they
Correct.
using that landing page?
Correct. Yeah, because I don't have access to sales CRM, right? So, yeah, I thought of having a landing page. Basically, in that particular movie, what he will do is, like, let's say if this is customer one, he will just mark it on his notebook, saying, yeah, it's done. Like they will circle it out, saying that particular customer he already spoke to. But here
Gotcha.
we are
So
using the landing page to
Mhm.
put those details, customer details, and then agent number, the broker number, and then once he clicks on that submit, the particular customer will move to the next page, wherein the email will trigger out with all the details of the plans that he already spoke over the phone.
Gotcha. So the
May I
landing
ask
page is
something?
being, sorry, awesome, cool.
Raja, if you're using the landing page as a trigger to send the email, couldn't you just use the cloud page on the entry source on the journey?
No, I am not sending out email directly. I am just triggering a journey activity wherein it will send an email. In the sense, like, actually, I have a plan of having a like when he clicks on the submit, what actually happens is, like, there will be a log which tracks of, let's say, it's not just one agent, right? That particular company can have multiple agents working simultaneously, right? So this log, what happens when you click on that submit, it will trigger the wait until event, and then email will go out, and parallelly a log will also be maintained, wherein in a data extension, in a log data extension, the details will be entered, like customer, and at the date on which the particular agent reached out, and then the agent ID as well, just for the company records, that which agent, how many customers he has, like for the company to track how many calls that a particular agent finished for that month, right? So to have a track of that, I also used I wanted to use this one.
And the agent, they will be the ones who will use the
Call
landing
the
page, right?
customers. Correct.
But the agent will be the one who will be filling the landing page,
Yeah,
right?
the agent will basically fill out those details, saying
So if he's the one using the landing page, couldn't you use the cloud page entry source as the entry of the journey? So then you just have cloud page and email, no wait until event. And every time you submit something on the cloud page, you will be sent directly the email or from the contact that you
correct. Yeah,
submitted from.
that's also one good point. Yeah, we can do that one as well. But then here I wanted to code everything in the landing page, because I rarely get an opportunity to work on the cloud pages.
Awesome.
Yeah,
You
that's a
also
good
wanted
thing. Yeah, we
an
can directly
API.
configure
Yeah.
using that one.
And Raja, you also wanted to leverage using an API call. So
Yes, correct.
right. So which is cool, because I think although if you do an API call to trigger a journey, I think it's the same thing. Yeah, I think that would work, right? So to Bruno's point, you could just, the API calls could be
Correct.
to the API entry event in the journey, which does make sense, because if all of those people in the journey don't get serviced, that wait until event does have an expiration and not going to hold it forever. But anyways, just an amazing use case. Fantastic. So excited that you're, I mean, and it's awesome. Great discussion. Great points, Bruno, as well. Just to bring on, solutioning. It doesn't matter really the solution you're coming up with, but first of all, you're reinventing CRM. because you're using a landing page to deliver that capability. We do have a CRM sandbox, and for the data cloud hands-on sessions, we're going to be giving people access to the CRM as well. So obviously, the reason why I ask is that you could just update a field in the CRM and then use the Salesforce data entry event to pull them in directly into a journey. But love your thinking on that. So keep going, Raja. Awesome.
Yeah, thanks. And to my question, Tim, so where I have issue. So this is the place where I am basically if I just provide the details and once I click on this, it basically says, yeah, thank you, whoever submitted the form with their first name, it says thank you for your submission kind of thing. But here, if I use the control syntax that let me. Yeah, if I use this syntax, which I happen to notice that Sandesh worked on, it worked for him. I'm not sure if I'm missing out something or not, but when I, even if I click on save, it just throws an error. So there is no way that I can use a try catch block to figure it out because this is happening at the syntax level, I guess. And if I just schedule it, it says, yeah, error.
So that syntax, I missed that video as well. I dropped the second half of that call. He was using that as an alternative to AmpScript?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Instead of
can you
like
share
he
that
said,
screen
like
again?
that
That
control
was
statement.
helpful.
Yeah, that control
Yeah.
statement we can use it like to use in both ways. Like we can directly use an AmpScript variable, or we can use directly the SSJS variable.
Gotcha. So you don't need to convert it from
Correct.
to a variable to right. Okay, let me just
Yeah,
take a screen
like
capture
this
of that
one.
because
Yeah.
that was helpful to share.
Yes.
Very cool. I will ping that to Sandesh. I think we have an open chat in the MC Learning Camp Slack channel with him and myself and JB. So I'll add that as a screen capture. And fantastic. Cool. Yeah, I'm kind of interested in that as well. So I'm glad you brought that up. It was great to visually see that and great to see all the work that you're doing. And just so cool. I mean, you're working in the hands-on external environment and you're building out a
because
pretty
I don't
amazing
have
use
access.
case.
I happen to notice only I have access to this one.
This is
sorry
impressive.
about that. I'm not sure if this is the
Nice
intended
job.
place where I
Yeah, awesome. Fantastic. And then you had a question about the keys and all of that. I think you were going to do a little bit of research or look back to a couple sessions that we had on the keys. Was that
Yes,
helpful
yes.
as far as syntax and
Tim. Yeah.
all
So
that?
yeah, thanks for sharing out that particular links. I believe like that will be helpful. Yeah. I'm yet to
and
go through those.
Okay, good. And even if you want to go through the exercise of creating your own keys, certainly go ahead and do that. And then if you need to create an install package, feel free to do that as well. I think you can. But I think it's the important part is creating that secure those IDs in Content Builder, so that you can that's the way to render that variable, so that you can bring that over and manually insert it into the cloud page to pull in that client ID and the client secret. But I think it's worth going through those steps. I couldn't find another way of doing that outside of using AmpScript to create it in Content Builder, so you can visually output that variable, and then bring it over in that AmpScript block in SSJS.
Yeah,
on the,
I also
on the cloud
already
page.
as you mentioned, like I already used a code block where I can have all those REST API endpoints details mentioned, and I'm just pulling out it using code by content block by ID in my cloud page, and then directly using these AmpScript variables in the SSJS.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if that's interesting to see if that's, so you're pulling in, you're using auth URL, you're using that content block by key, and
Yeah, let me open that.
then
page again.
assuming that you can use SSJS functions to pull variables from a content block by key without establishing them in the cloud page.
Correct. Yeah. Because ultimately
interesting.
what I felt is like, we are encrypting and then decrypting it, right? So
Yeah.
I use this content block by ID just to make sure that, even if someone inspects this code or, they won't be able to get any of those information, the hard-coded values. And I am just, leveraging that here, like to read these, like the client
Yeah.
ID and client secret from this particular content block by ID, wherein I have
Are
these
you able
particular-
to, in that when you'd use that syntax, are you able just to output any of those
Yes, yes.
variables in
Yeah,
the
I'm
debug
able
in
to
the error?
print out. Yeah, sure,
You
sure.
can see them. Oh,
yeah. Let me print it out here.
that might be an interesting workaround, because that content block by key, I guess you can't, if that is in the page itself, you can't really see what's in there, right? From a security standpoint.
Yes, yes, yeah. So let me directly use it here itself. Where is my debugger?
Yeah, I think it
I
just
think
showed
it's
it.
already displayed, right?
Yeah, I think it showed it in your publishing. So, okay,
Yeah.
interesting. Huh,
Yeah, and these are the values.
interesting. Yeah, that worked.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so you don't need to use,
Encrypt and decrypt, right?
well, so the only thing is that variable isn't encrypted, but all that decrypt is doing is taking a variable that you're passing and decrypting it.
Yes.
So if you're using that in your auth call, yeah, let's see. And so and then you converted it from the AMP script to the SSJS variable.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, okay. And so that didn't that didn't work. You weren't able to get a token.
No, I tried that one. Yeah, everything is working fine. The token, and then yeah.
Okay, so you don't have an issue.
Yeah, I don't have any issue except this printing, this one thing.
Oh, okay. So that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. That's an interesting way of avoiding using keys. I mean, I kind of like using keys just from like a security standpoint, but you just did a much easier solution, which is using content block by key or by ID to set those credentials in Marketing Cloud, and there should be no exposure of that, from a scanning standpoint, a security standpoint, right? Because you couldn't view source and see what content block by ID is.
Yes.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Cool solution.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. Yeah, and I will go through those links that you provided, Tim, so that I will get some context, how we are, securing that data.
Yeah, I mean, it may be for if you're setting this up, and depending on the environment, depending on the client, if it's an enterprise client and they have, particular type of scanning and requirements, the key path might be a way to go, but it'd be kind of cool just to do a side by side and have a enterprise, validate which would be the preferred way, because it's a lot easier going this way. Nice. Awesome. All right, cool. So would you like to, we can dive into or was there anything else you wanted to share from?
No, Tim, as of now, only these are the questions that I have.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for sharing. Any feedback, any feedback from what Raja was sharing from the team? Any questions for him?
I just think
Thanks, Bruno, for that. I know that. Yeah, I didn't think about that cloud page as a source, but yeah, I think maybe it's just that in one of the earlier sessions, I got to know how we can use a cloud page. So I was like, okay, yeah.
Oh,
I
awesome.
just
And
wanted to.
the block it by contents, just the first time I see this, so it's a pretty new solution for me. It was
Yeah,
very
okay.
good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Raja, I know we have a session, we have 2 sessions next week, one on Tuesday, one on Thursday. Do you want to present your solution once you've got it all, ironed out, and I think you've got it pretty close? Do you want to present it on Thursday to the team?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, Tim. By Thursday, I will have this one. But yeah, just let me know if you wanted me to have this cloud page used as a source, or is it fine the way that I, like using a cloud page just as a, like entry note for the agent in my use case.
I mean, every use case is different. So I think the use case that you created is cool because you use some additional functionality, like the wait until event. I think is really cool functionality to to leverage. I think that's makes exciting for me. So I think go with your vision, and then if you could present have a couple examples of like having somebody walk through it, like, hey, I've entered in these 10 people into the journey, they're all in the wait step, and then I'm the salesperson, I'm servicing these leads, I've got these 2 that I've called them, they're ready to go, and so whatever someone can on the team could, you could send the URL and they could act as a salesperson and they could fill out the form, and then it gets triggered from the wait until event, the email gets sent. That'd be cool just to see that end to end. Great use case.
Yeah, sure, Tim. Yeah, I will make sure, and I will implement it. And if I have any questions or something which I need help with, I will definitely reach out to you guys.
Okay, and a great exercise for the server-side JavaScript bootcamp, and an amazing use case for what I think we never intended someone in hands-on for someone to build something so complex and so amazing in the platform. So thank you for that. That's just really cool. Have that recorded, and I think a shining example of why there's some really couple people who attend these hands-on, especially you, Bruno, Vivian, a couple others are not only just presenting, but they're digging right into the platform and building some really cool use cases. So thank you for all that effort. Amazing. Okay, so we'll pencil you in for next Thursday to present it.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome, fantastic. Okay, cool. All right, so let's go back up to, I think it's the Cervelo partner main. Yeah, we'll go into that business unit. And this was, we were using this for our server-side JavaScript hands-on session, so it's just easier to go in there. And so if we go into the cloud pages, though, and we'll go in there. And then I think the one that we want, and there's a bunch here because we've been going through a bunch of these. So I think the one is it's the second row, step MFP step 1 hands-on, and then it says 11 dash, that one, yeah. Let's click into that. And let's go into if you click into the debug block, that's the one that has the SSJS in it, yeah, cool. So I think what we've got here, I think where we ended with Vivian is that we were, capturing the fields in the form, and then we were populating a data extension. She had created 2 other landing pages, the small company step 2 and the large company step 2. Can you do me a favor and delete lines 13 and 14? I think I was just playing around with that. Those aren't needed. That was for some list exploratory. Yeah, and so our next step is that what we want to do is create an if statement that if they fill out the form and the company field is less than, in Sandesh and Michelle's example, they use if it was less than 500 employees, then it's going to go to the small page. If it's otherwise, it's going to go to the large page. So, Raja, you're a pretty senior server-side JavaScript developer. So do you want to walk through and build for the team how to do an if statement that might cover that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So basically, so our limits for the company are above 500 and below 500, right? Or you want 100?
I mean, you can decide however, whatever count you want. You could say that if the count is 100 or less, then they're a small company. If it's greater than 100, it's up to you what you want to use for a count.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Let's do it 500 then. Yeah. So I'm writing a logic wherein if the company size is less than 500, we will redirect to a page where it says small company. Okay, it's less than 500. Yeah. Or we can use else if case for the other part where it's greater than 500 or greater than or equal to 500. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Tim.
Awesome. Yeah. Fantastic. Keep going. And I mean, we've got the pages built for both of those. So you can find their URLs. So yeah, they would be, let's see.
Okay. These are the...
Yeah. Well, actually that's the real one. So if you back out of that, we wanted to create our own. So it's, if you scroll up a little bit, so if you go into collections on the left, yeah. And then if you go into SSJS Bootcamp, yep. And these were just to the left of the MFP Step 1 hands-on 11 dash. So you see them right to the left of them. There's the MFP small hands and large hands. Those are the 2 right there.
Yeah, so we have the pages that we wanted to redirect to. So yeah. Yeah, so let's initiate this particular URL. Let's use a variable for redirection page. And then at the end of this syntax, we will just, like whichever gets picked as a URL, redirection URL, that we will try to post that one. So for that, let's define a one more variable. Let's say the redirection URL. And then here, okay. Yeah, if form submitted equal to true, we wanted to redirect based on the company sizes, right? So so we filled that logic as well. So here the redirection logic will happen here. Okay. Yeah. So in that same session, like I think in the previous session before Sandesh, I think Melanie or I
Michelle.
don't recollect. Yeah, I think yeah,
Mm.
Sharon. So like she informed us. So once we click on the submit button, so basically this form will have access to the subscriber details, but we like for redirection purpose we should be you know to like to have that subscriber details available even to the link, to the redirected link, we should be using, we should be fetching that QS attribute from the URL. In the sense,
Do you
like
want
since
to, yeah, Raja, do you want to just test this now and then we could add in the query string parameter to it as well?
yeah, sure. So yeah, I think we already setting it form field, right? Okay, let me do this thing. Debug error. Let me do it in the error.
Cool.
Let me see.
Cool.
Do you have the error field already defined? Okay, yeah, that's fine. So yeah, let me. I think yeah, this looks good to me. But yeah, feel free to let me know if you see any kind of corrections needed. If not, I will just
Let's
directly
test
save it
it.
and
That's always the fun part with Cloud Pages. It's not me, it's not us, but will Cloud Pages accept it? It looks
yeah.
good. Yeah, it does look good.
Yeah, let me schedule it. Okay, I
All
think yeah,
right.
we are looking
Awesome.
good here.
And can you test both scenarios?
Yes.
Cool.
So let's do the 400 one. And then once I click it, in the error place, we should be seeing the small company page URL, which is this one, small hands, the one that ends with 5ED2. Yeah, it's working fine.
Okay.
And then let's test it out with the let's put find it, and then now, since the company is more than 500 or greater than or equal to 500, it should redirect to page, the large company page with ends with 5H3H. So let's test it out that. Yeah, 5H3H. Yeah, it's working fine.
Okay. And then do we need to use a different function to actually send them to that redirect? Because it's still
Yeah.
staying on page 1.
Yeah, currently, yeah, for redirection, once once we submit this button, what's happening? Like this, we will be in this. If let me see. Yeah, we'll be in this. In this if condition, right? Within this if condition where we have this logic, right? So here, I believe, yeah, here we should have that redirection logic, so that automatically when this gets evaluated, it will redirect directly to that page itself.
Gotcha.
For
Okay.
that one, I think, yeah, I think the
That's where you were going
redirection.
next, as far as like the using the query string and all of that.
Yeah, correct. So for that redirection, if we want to, append with along with this URL, if we wanted to send the customer data as well, in the sense like the subscriber details to be used in these pages, we should be like appending the subscriber key as well, in the sense that subscriber, like the query string parameter that we usually get once a customer clicks on an email, he will be redirected to this page, right? So this page will have access to his details, the customer details, all his submitted details. So to have those details also available in these pages, we should be appending them. So to get that, we should be using the query string parameter function. I think, I'm not sure if you're planning on having this done in this session or in the next session, but yeah, the next step would be, yeah, appending that query string parameter to this link, and then we we will use these particular links to get redirect. Yeah.
Yeah, Raja, do you want to keep going on that, down that road as far as identifying the query string parameter and appending it?
Yeah, for that I would need the email, at least one email, so
That's
that I
right.
can, get that query string parameter directly, like, in the sense, I'm not
That's
sure.
right. Are you a subscriber? Are you a subscriber
No,
in
like I tried to send few emails, but then all were in blocked state, so I haven't got any email.
Okay. How are we going to do that? So you don't have an email address that would work as far as sending a test email?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's try that anyways. Do you want to try in a tab, pull up an email, and I think we can just either manually add you to a data extension, see if we can get you sent as at least as a test subscriber.
Yeah. Or we can, what we can do is we can, directly try to redirect to these pages and see whether they are getting correctly redirected or not, to check that functionality. And then once it's
Sure.
done, if we need the subscriber details as well in these pages, we can, try to, append those using that get query parameter string.
Okay.
So yeah,
Sounds good.
let's write the redirection logic. Yeah, the function, I guess it's or let me see, cloud page redirection, right? Redirection or the utility functions, or What is this?
let's see. Yeah, it's like, so the redirect, you're setting that, that's not, the redirect URL is not redirecting. Um, and is it platform.response.redirect and then the URL? I'm not sure what's the
Let me,
right.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out, what kind of, uh, mm, get
How do you read? You would think that that redirect would. Oh, I think it's just redirect. Wait, but that's what you've got. You've got redirect. Oh yeah, so it's, you've got the redirect URL you're creating. So I think it's just redirect is the function name.
Mhm. I think maybe the core platform function, or can we use platform
Okay.
dot redirect? Let's
Okay,
try
so that's
this
what we're
now.
trying. Okay, awesome. Yeah, sorry, thank you. Sorry.
Okay, it's looking good. Let's see. Okay. So yeah, the large page URL, submit. Yeah, I think, okay, yeah, I think we need to do try catch to see what's happening there.
Cool.
Yeah. So here if it is an error, let's try to set a platform control X. Set debug value equal to here dot message. We can, let's see what's this entire complete message error type is. Stringify of error.
Nice.
Yeah, I think, and yeah, we are good now. So
You think you need one more end paren there. End parentheses to end your set value. You've got error,
okay.
which is
One
being
more
stringified. Yeah,
parenthesis.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yep, there you go. Cool.
Unable to retrieve security description for this frame. Description system invalid operation exception. unable to retrieve security descriptor for this frame from mesh core.
Oh, the redirect. I think if you do comma false, try that. I think that I think there's a required field on that I think it's just it's not, there's nothing to it, but yeah, there you go. Try that. You should be going to that documentation, but we were going through the same use case when we were building this page.
Yeah, I think
Nice.
no, it's redirecting
As
properly.
simple as that, redirect. Yeah, so like where is it in that documentation? Because I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, and this documentation is so tough to find. You wish there was some way to search for it, because it's not a platform function. Because that would be cool just to see it.
And they just give some simple thing. Let me find Salesforce redirect function app script. Okay. Look, these are known issues. Gracefully handle the exceptions. Yeah,
You know, like, I mean, not to be overly picky, because this documentation still is amazing, but I love, like, in the AMP script guide, I just love AMP script so much. It's just so much, well, it's limited, but you can just search for the function and it comes up, whereas this documentation, it's like, it's not that easy to search for.
Or I think Sandesh in his session he informed there is a way that we can directly leverage AMP script functions using content block, like treat as content. He wants us to use that treat as content function. In the SSJS also we have a similar functional which will try to handle the code AMP script code. So I think maybe if we use AMP script function, redirect it to function, and then use that inside treat as content SSJS function, then I think it will work in an alternate, like as an alternate solution. If we don't if we don't know this particular function, in the sense like this redirect function, if someone is not aware of that one, I guess they can use that specific method which Sandesh has informed us in the previous session. I think that's one way to have a workaround for this particular one if we don't see.
Yeah, good call. So I did find it. It's under utilities functions, under application utility functions. I just dropped it in the chat if you want to click to it. And that shows the two required fields, the string and whether the redirect is permanently enabled. I don't know what true would do. Is it just always false? I don't understand what false is doing there for you. You know, what's the use case for that? But I guess that's something that does anyone have any idea why there would need to be a false there or a true? Whether redirect is permanently enabled.
Or I think let's try this one. Maybe if we try to click on back. Yeah, we are going back to that particular URL. But if we put true, let's see.
Okay. And maybe
Okay.
it doesn't really have any impact, but yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, no,
Raja, can
no
you,
changes.
yeah, can you paste that code in the chat that you just created today? Because Vivian was wanting to utilize it and share that. Thank you for sharing that for the team.
Yeah.
Because we're pretty much at time. This was fantastic. Raja, thank you so much. Made some really good progress. Thank you for driving the build on this. It was fun just to working through that together. Next time we'll look to, if you're available to build, or Bruno, if you want to build. Bruno, I think you have, you're able to be a subscriber. Maybe if you were available on Tuesday, if you wanted to build the functionality to append that query string so that we can, that's the next step, is that page 2, if you have your variables created, it should pass, and we should get those to render in page 2, so you don't have to refill it out again.
Awesome. I'll check my schedule, but I'll probably be available. Yes.
Okay. If not, we'll figure out Raja to get you access, or maybe we can bring back Vivian or whomever else wants to build. And please join. If you have any questions, reach out. If you still can't get into the MC Learning Camp Slack channel, I know we're having some challenges getting in there. Does anybody, I know we had some people had some challenges getting there. Do you need to, I can't remember because I signed up like a couple of years ago. Do you need to, can you just go to that Slack channel, or do you need to have it be approved by somebody? Does anyone remember how they got in to the MC Learning Camp?
Yes. So basically, So Joshna, she will add a particular email of like whoever wants to join. So she will add that into the joiners list, I guess, for this workspace, I guess. Once that's done, I think you will receive a mail stating if you click on that, you will be redirected to this particular workspace.
Okay, great. That's fantastic. Okay, Vivian, I'll add you. So I'm just going to make a note. I have your email, Vivian. Who else? Anybody on the channel? Drop your email into the chat, and I'll add it.
Yeah, I think, JB will be able to add those once we provide
Thank
those
you.
list of email addresses.
Thank you, Raja. Very helpful. Okay, I'm adding this email. Perfect. Two different emails. Anybody else? Thank you for adding those. Got another one. Okay, cool. So next week we'll work through that. So Tuesday we're going to finish working through this multi-form page. Thursday, I think we might have a little bit to wrap up, but we'll have Raja, if you're available, to present your solution on Thursday. And then we might have 2 more sessions the following week. And we've been wanting to circle back to the preference center and continue to build that out. So we'll just discuss as a group if it makes sense to have another couple of sessions after next week. Sounds like we're going to need the time. It seems like there may be interest. So, okay, yeah. Raja, if you have a chance, if you want to paste that full code of that to the page in the Slack channel.
Yeah, sure.
That'd be awesome. Okay.
Well, I
thanks.
have a question. Sorry, just
Sure.
a quick.
Yeah.
So after the end of this year, what's the plan? Do you have a plan for next year, 2024, starting January? What's the plan? Is there somewhere we can go read about it? So,
The plan for these hands-on sessions?
Correct.
Yeah. So we're gonna the next boot camp is Data Cloud. So we're going to be doing hands-on sessions with Data Cloud. So we're going to have hands-on builders in Salesforce CRM, in Data Cloud environment, Marketing Cloud, Snowflake, S3, all of that. Building out from scratch a Data Cloud environment where we're going to be pulling in data sources from all these different areas, multi-CRM orgs, and so building right from scratch a Data Cloud environment. So if you want to, read up about that, if we might have a session or two around other things, like if we have a couple of things we want to do on server-side JavaScript or preference centers, but that will be the focus, and that's going to kick off like mid-January. Does that make sense? Does that sound good as far as the next topic for everybody? Vivian, does that sound good to you?
Exciting. Thank you.
Yeah, we're excited. Awesome. Fantastic. Okay, summarize today's session. So just to summarize today's session, we were able to do the redirect. Raja, do you want to summarize what we did in today's session?
Yeah, sure. So we have our form ready, and then depending on the company size, we wanted to redirect to either, if depending on if the company size is a small one, we wanted to redirect to a small company page, and then if the company size of that particular submitted form is of more than 500, we wanted to redirect it to a large company page. So we made a if else condition statements to make sure that we are redirecting properly depending on that company sizes, and then we used redirect function within SSJS to redirect to that specific company page.
Awesome. Thank you, Raja. Amazing session. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah,
Thank you
Steve,
all.
and thanks.
Bye.